The second book of the Bible is called Exodus, a word that means departure or going out. It tells the story of a people moving from slavery to freedom, but it's also the story of God revealing himself, hearing the cry of the oppressed, stepping into human history, and forming a lasting covenant with humanity. Exodus is not just about traveling from one place to another, it's a spiritual journey, a path that transforms slaves into a free people and then into a people capable of love, trust, and responsibility. The book begins where Genesis left off. The descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the people of Israel, are living in Egypt. But over time, the situation changes. A new Pharaoh, who knows nothing about Joseph, rises to power. Fearing the growing number of Israelites, he forces them into slavery, burdening them with harsh labor. Despite the oppression, the people continue to grow. In fear, Pharaoh orders that every Hebrew baby boy be killed. But it's in this moment of fear and violence that Moses is born, the central figure of the Exodus story. Moses is saved from death, placed in a basket on the Nile, and found by Pharaoh's daughter, who raises him in the royal palace. Although he grows up in luxury, Moses never forgets his roots. When he sees an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave, he kills the Egyptian and flees into the desert. There, in the quiet and isolation, God speaks to him through a burning bush that is not consumed. It's one of the most mysterious and powerful moments in the Bible. God reveals his name, I am who I am, and gives Moses a mission to free his people. Moses returns to Egypt and, with his brother Aaron, confronts Pharaoh. But Pharaoh refuses to let the Israelites go. So God sends a series of 10 plagues upon Egypt, terrifying events ranging from turning water into blood to swarms of locusts, and finally, the death of every firstborn in Egypt. After the last plague, Pharaoh finally gives in. The Israelites leave Egypt in a hurry. This is the night of Passover, the night when God passes over his people, sparing them and setting them free. But the journey to freedom isn't easy. Pharaoh changes his mind and chases after the Israelites all the way to the Red Sea. There, God miraculously parts the waters so his people can walk through on dry land, and then closes the waters behind them, destroying the Egyptian army. This is not just a moment of victory, it is a moment of faith, when the people experience God as their deliverer. In the wilderness, the people begin a long and difficult march toward the Promised Land. But it isn't long before they grow hungry, thirsty, and tired. They begin to complain, even wishing they could return to Egypt. This shows both the fragility of the human heart and the patience of God. God provides food, manna from heaven, water from a rock, and guides them with a cloud by day and fire by night. But most importantly, on Mount Sinai, God gives Moses the 10 Commandments. These are not just rules, they are a way of life, a guide to living as free people in harmony with God and with one another. Even after receiving the covenant, the people falter. While Moses is on the mountain, the Israelites build a golden calf to worship, betraying the very God who saved them. It's a deep act of disobedience. But Moses pleads for the people, and God, though grieved, renews his covenant. From that point on, God chooses to dwell with his people in a tent, a movable sanctuary. He is not a distant God, but a God who travels with his people step by step. Exodus ends with the building of the tabernacle, a sacred space that goes with the Israelites through the desert. It becomes the sign that God is living among them, even in their struggle, doubt, and hope. Exodus is not just an ancient story, it's a universal symbol of liberation, a story about moving from any kind of slavery, whether physical, spiritual, or emotional, toward freedom and purpose. It reminds us that God hears the cry of the suffering, and that true freedom isn't just about escape, but about becoming responsible, about learning to walk in faith, live in love, and trust in God. It's the story of a God who doesn't stay far away in the heavens, but who enters into human history, walks with his people in their deserts, teaches them, forgives them, lifts them up. Exodus teaches us that freedom is not just leaving something behind, it's journeying towards someone, toward God, toward a renewed life, toward a land of justice, mercy, and peace.
Thanks so much for being here and sharing this moment with us.
If you find peace in nature, believe in the power of small things, and want to feel more connected to the world around you, we'd love to have you as part of our YouTube community. We post new videos every week, full of calm, inspiration, and gentle reminders to slow down and appreciate the beauty in everyday life. If that sounds like your kind of space, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're just getting started, and we'd be so happy to have you with us on this journey.